What it do, gang? It's your little homie, Warren G-Body. And I'm still up in the rock shop. Welcome back, gang, to another edition of Rock Shop Chronicles, where we are pushing to get one of these beauties back in traffic. We want all three of them, all four of them back. Actually, all five of them back in traffic. But we getting closer and closer here, gang. But yeah, welcome back to another edition. Please excuse my voice, gang. I'm a night light worker. Just woke up. So today is my Saturday. It's actually Wednesday. I'm off Wednesday, Thursday. But yeah, gang, I think in the last upload, if you checked it out, last couple of uploads, we've been hot and heavy on the Detox Boo. That's my 1978 Chevy Malibu. Twin turbo, LQ4 setup, Holly Terminator X, the whole nine. We're currently hot and heavy in the wiring of it. We're putting a Ron Francis wiring kit up in here, the same kit that I have in each project. So this has Ron Francis, and now we have one for this one. We did on her 79, which is what this video is about. We did a wiring harness in that one. It was an American Auto Wire set up for that one, and that one was pretty cool. But we're going to put this old girl on the back burner and turn to her older cousin over there. And we're going to be messing around with the 79. I haven't shown any love to her in a while. And the owner wants her Holly Sniper thing back up in here. Now, this one is real cool. You can see I've already been in the boxes and stuff. Like, that don't look like a Holly Sniper. That's because this one is called the Sniper Stealth. It's real stealthy, and it fools people into thinking that's a regular, Holly carburetor. It isn't. That is EFI. You feel me? That is 100% EFI down there. And what this does, gang, is where the fuel, this is where your normal fuel bowls are in the front and back, but Holly got sneaky and real stealthy, and they put the injectors in here. So there's 4 injectors here, 4 injectors here, 100% EFI. I made this whole fuel log line up myself because I wanted it to look a certain way, and it actually came out real clean. This setup here is what we use to refire the Crate 350 that's currently in her, the GM Performance Crate 350 that's in her Elko project right now. And let me tell you, I know what that motor sounds like. Like, I'm going to fire it up in a minute. The way it sounds now is what I'm used to. When we put this system on, it was like a hybrid between old school and LS. The way it sounded, I went, oh, this sounds way different. It's real smooth. Still had a nice stuff, but it was more smoother. I don't know how to explain it other than saying it was smooth. In this system, we also have the Hyper Spark from Holly as well. So I went ahead and spared no expense and just went and got all the goodies. I need to dig out all my notes because this has to be set up a certain way. It can get confusing, but I got notes from the first install, which went flawlessly, believe it or not. I just followed the instructions from the videos and in the Holly, manual and everything. And she fired right up. One thing that was real cool is that it comes with the screen, and you can dial your timing in where you want. So you set it up, you tell it blah, blah, blah degrees, da-da-da-da. And let's say if you want to move it on the fly, you just move the little level thing up and it dials it in for you right there electronically. So yeah, gang, so what we'll be doing in this video is you can see I already got the car cover off. We'll be firing her back up. I think I want to bend a corner or two. It's been a minute since we've driven her, so I'm gonna go through everything, make sure everything is looking good, blow the engine out real good, a little dust bunnies and all that stuff up off of her, and get it cracking. We'll be back on these projects in a minute. She's doing her thing. She firing up. I went through and tightened up a few of the fuel fittings in the back, but she's firing up every time. It's like she needs a tune. So it's like the first fire, it fires, but then it dies. And then she'll finally get to going, and she chopping. I got the Black Widow Neighbor Haters are on there right now. So it's like, oh my God. But yeah, gang, so today we'll be working and messing around, playing around with the 79L, the Purple People Eater. We're going to get her hood popped open, blow her out, and then we're going to, get the wheel chocks off of her, pull her on out, and see what it do. All right, y'all, fading it out. All right. right, fading back in. Y'all know your boy, extremely safe. It's one thing that people at work know about me. I don't play around with the safety gang. All right, let's get this hold on. Let's get this air on. There it is. See, we already got the line. I want to blow out the engine bay. You feel me? We also got to get these windows down. I have a new relics kit in here, but it's not fully installed, gang. Remember, we started this project. There's a whole new relics kit, and then we stopped in order to get the Malibu home. So, yeah, we gonna blow this. Oh, yeah, gang. We looking good up in here. For a homegrown backyard boogie, yeah, this looks pretty clean. But yeah, you see what it is. I'm gonna blow all this dust and stuff off, and then we gonna fire her up. A couple of pumps, you know, carbureted. But she fires right up every time, though. You feel me? Could be because it's on the embankment. The fuel is already up. But yeah, gang, let me go ahead and get this cleaned up. Oh, man, something I forgot I did, gang. Your boy strong like bull. I ended up breaking that piece off inside there. You see it? Hoping I can get that out. I got a little set without balling up the threads. But yeah, because when I put the Holly back in, you can see I already got the brain and the coil already set up where I wanted them. I'll need these side posts for that. But all right, gang, let me get to it, and we're gonna blow this thing out, get it all cleaned up, and that'll give me a chance to get all this back here straight, and then get the windows down, and I just gotta hook it up to power, and then we're gonna fire this thing up, let her eat, and we're gonna pull it out. All right, y'all, fading it out. And we back in, gang. You know, something I don't remember doing is grounding the block. I've got 0 gauge coming from the frame up to the battery, 4 gauge from the frame to the battery. I have something going to the firewall, frame to the body, but I have 4 gauge going to each head, I believe, but I don't have something going to the engine. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. But yeah, so we'll be addressing that. And yeah, so we got it all blown down, kind of just looking everything over, seeing what we got. I got to hook up this power for the window, so I kind of got like a little jumper, and we gonna see if we can get these windows to go down. But yeah, let me get after that, gang. We gonna stab this in here and get some juice going. Man, it's fused, so no worries. Hopefully I didn't unhook it all the way. Let's see what we got. Yeah, there we go. Now, I had one touch on here, but I took it off because it wasn't important. There we go. So let me go ahead and get that out the way. Then, gang, I got some stuff. She hasn't been dripping, believe it or not. You know, them first gen small block Chevys, they leak like crazy. But we haven't had any issues with that, so you know what, we're just gonna keep it rolling, gang. Pull this on out. Yeah. I repurpose everything. This is from a little refrigerator. I'll repurpose it all, gang. Yeah. Maybe we have been doing a little bit of dripping. Yeah, but you know how it is with them old schools. That's why I like the way they seal up the LSs. You know, you barely get any leaks. But yeah, all right, let's take a look up underneath here. See how we looking? We low. Tires are chopped. And I still got the wideband O2 sensor. That one probably no good by now, which means I gotta buy another one. Yeah, gang, let's see what it do. Let's see what we got. Battery ain't been charged in a minute. Ooh, backfiring through the carb. Let's see what we got. We backfiring through the carb. All right, gang, let me make a couple of adjustments and I'll bring you guys back in. Ooh, man, these carburetors, bro, they finicky. I'm not a carburetor dude. I don't know how to tune them. I usually have a spot do it. But you know, I'm just tinkering around with it. Yeah, we're in drive right now. This is normally where you want to set the idle. Once it's got a load on it, foot on the brake, and then you adjust the little screw. But that whole carburetor needs to be tuned and all of that. So we're gonna go from drive, neutral, reverse, and now we back in park. Yeah, I need to adjust that distributor. I think I stabbed it in. We was rushing. A tooth off. Yeah, I think I stabbed it in just a tooth off. So the timing might be a little, you start getting that little pop, 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 pop. Yeah. But all right, gang, so we just gonna pull it out, see what it do. I let her shake and bake for a little bit. We're gonna get the wheel chocks off and see what the hell happens. We got a fire extinguisher. I'm gonna move this deal in the back off and we gonna pull her out. Let's see what happens. We ain't got to go to work today, so and we'll get her back home, no problem. Just gonna pull her out, see if I can get her on the street and see what it do. All right, y'all, fading it out. All right, we pulling on out, gang. See what it do. It's been a minute since we swung this old girl. Sensor takes over. Yeah, we got something going on with this transmission. Let me see what it do. All right, we outside. I don't think see, I don't know how they had the lockup kit set up, you feel me? Yeah, so I took the fuse out to see if that would stop the problem I was having, and when my foot's on the brake, it like wants to cut out. It starts doing stuff. So now it's not. At least I don't think it is. So I'm gonna fire it back up, gang, and see if I can move it up. I'm gonna unchuck the tires again, fire it up, pull it up, and see if I get that weird situation going on. Yeah, because that was the last thing I did was wire in how the way the diagram was. I wired it in that way. But depending on how they do it internally, which I don't know, I might have to take it back to Luke's Transmissions in Rubidoux. They're the ones that built this 700R for me. A beautiful job on it. But yeah, I don't know what they did as far as how the lockup kit is, you feel me? So I remember telling them I want it where I don't have a switch on the dash. I just want to touch the brake, and then it, you know, it just automatically does what it needs to do. So I pulled the fuse. I'm gonna fire it back up and we'll see what it do. All right, we got her out. Right now she's idling at about 1100 RPM. Something's going on with that transmission. The reverse is acting a complete ass. But yeah. Alright, so I'm still gonna pull her around, man. See what it do. sound like a sewing machine. Yes, sir. Still needs to be fine-tuned, you feel me? Yeah, I need to kick that idle. This is where I need to set the idle. So I need to set the idle when it's in drive. Have somebody turn the screw for me. Yeah, so I need to take that up just a little bit more. All right, we in neutral. I think I'm gonna set the resting idle maybe at like 1200. But this is where I need one of the homies over here. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let me mess around with it, and we're gonna try to get it, pull it around and pull it back in. And we back in. All right, gang. I was hoping one of my homeboys was gonna be able to make it through to take a look at the old girl, but he could not make it through. So we are going to go ahead and start the next little setup in a different video game. We're going to start the whole tearing all the distributor out, getting it back on top dead center, pulling the distributor out, and we're going to start the Hyper Spark install. It's a pretty labor intensive. We got to take the gas tank out. Fuel lines got to be done. The fuel boss that goes to the side of the block, that's got to come out. It's a little rod up in there if you didn't know how the fuel pumps. I believe it rides on the cam as it's spinning. I'm not sure, but it helps pump the fuel up through the lines and pull it up front. So we got to get rid of that. We got to put the block off plate. We got to run the fuel line. We got to drop the tank. We got to put the new EFI tank in. So it's a lot of work we got to get going. But so we're done with the carb over there. As a wrap, it's official. No more carburetors for me. I do have to use a carburetor to start this one up. This will be EFI once we get there, but this one has a cam in it. You know, it's old school. You got to break the cam in. The cool thing about this motor, the LS3, I didn't have to. As soon as you fire it up, you good. That one over there, that crate 350, that one had a hydraulic roller cam. You didn't have to break it in either. So, but with this one, you know, once I fire it, I don't, you know, you gotta rev it up to 3,000 RPM and let it go. So I'm like, with EFI, sheesh, it's gonna be a lot to look at, and I might have fuel leaks, I might have this problem. So yeah, but this will be the last carburetor, and then we're going EFI on that one. So I'm gonna end the video here, gang. We are heavy into the Malibu right now. You see I got the wheel off, she's up. We're getting the with no help, you know, this is my help. I'm getting the plate in for the pass through. I had to cut some aluminum and drill it out, put a couple of grommets in there, and now I'm figuring out how I'm going to secure it to the firewall real clean like, and then we can start mounting the plates. So that's what we are on right now, gang. Be on the lookout for those. I got 2 videos up already about that. We're already editing the third one, which is mounting the plate, getting the dash out, and all of that stuff. So there it is, gang. It's your little homie, Warren G Body, up in the rock shop, repping 80s, and most definitely keeping the Chevy.